Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So it has been a little while since I had a show. Yes, so last Thursday I was off because it was Halloween. Last Friday I was off because we were doing the big gaming marathon for Extra Life on Saturday, and I had to go set everything up over at my brother's house. And then ended up watching the kids over the weekend. So didn't get home until yesterday afternoon. Didn't have enough time to put together a show. So figured out I'm back today. So tonight is Tuesday, November 5th. This is my first episode of November 2019. This is episode 388 of The Daily Dope. So I do want to point out this is a live stream. If you have not popped in to check out the show before, keep in mind this is very casual. This is not rocket surgery or anything like that. And a lot of stuff just kind of comes off, top of my head or off the cuff, unless I'm actually just reading specific gaming news. So because this is a live stream, if you are checking this out live right now, there is chat available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of these stranger commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question or a comment, by all means, please chime in. So far we've got John Vogel, we've got the Madman, we've got Brian Sweet, who is a newbie in chat, I do believe. So, welcome aboard. I know John and also the Madman did catch some of the gaming marathon that was on Saturday. In fact, I think John was there like first thing in the morning when we launched. And then I know the Madman popped in later on. We were in the middle of the Lovecraftian weirdo 1950s adventure that I was running when the Madman popped in. And we had a blast. We really did. I gotta say, though, there are some low human beings in this world because I don't know if most people who are watching this either after the fact or watching live may not know this, but there were some bad guys who launched a denial of service attack on the Extra Life servers. So right when we were starting up, it must have been right about the time they decided that they were going to launch this DDoS attack. And it was weird because the site would be down, then it'd be up, and then you couldn't find me on the site. You couldn't find the Gaming Gang team on the site. But if you used Firefox, you can get at a certain point. If you used Chrome, you got that something else. And if you were on your phone, it was crazy. And the worst part is, people couldn't make donations. And I know John Vogel, I know the Madman, they were watching. I know folks were trying to make donations, and they were shooting, messages in chat saying, "Hey, I keep trying. It's not happening." And then for the first about 2 hours, there was nothing. There was no word on Twitter from Extra Life that this was going on. So we're like, are we losing our minds here? Is it us? Can't be us. And I kept saying, I swear this looks like it's a denial of service attack. And sure enough, that's what it was. Some scumbags probably out of Bulgaria or something like that, because the Bulgarians are always trying to hack into my site. Don't know why. I've never done anything bad to anybody from Bulgaria. I promise I didn't. Not a thing. So that was very, very weird. Beat Cafe is popping into chat as well. Good to see ya. Anyway, so the Madman says, looked like a lot of fun, and I only saw the last hour. Hey, I gotta point out, but the madman got to see how the story ended. You either had to watch live or had been there to know how that story ends, because good old YouTube chopped off like the last 6 minutes of the stream. And you're supposed to get 12 hours, right? So I made sure at the 12th hour we were signing off. I mean, I had it like down to the minute, because I knew you only got 12 hours. And anything after that, YouTube wouldn't save. But anyway, so it's kind of funny. So there are very few people who know how the, as Elliot Miller, my best friend, kept referring to him as Mega Brain Monkey. Damn you, Mega Brain Monkey! Was defeated. So, and Brian Sweet says, what kind of jerk attacks a charity? I know, it's crazy. You gotta be a scumbag. You gotta be a real scumbag. But we had a blast. We had a lot of fun. And it was the 3rd year that we had done it. We actually, amazingly enough, we had about 130 people watch live. Or 130 viewers. So if somebody tuned in a couple of times, it counted twice. But I was surprised, because that was about 50 live viewers more than we had the 2nd year. And it was probably about 90 viewers more than we had the first time we did it, first year we did this. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I think we're at about 180 some viewers. But of course, donations were really, really tough because people just gave up. They kept trying to give the charity their money and gave up. A few people did have an opportunity to get donations in. Anyway, okay, so that's what that was going on. And of course, I have a new design for the Gaming Gang website. Be sure to swing over, check it out. It doesn't look vastly different than it previously did, but I made some tweaks because I wanted to load a little bit faster. It loaded fast. But what I also wanted to do is I wanted to be able to have our review scores actually show up on the image when you're on the website, kind of like, the big names have. Of course, granted, it's not the big name graphics, on it. But yeah, so that's what I'd been working on almost all of last week and even into today. So finally today, I'm pretty much done with the complete revamp. Got some tweaks to make. I got some images I have to crop or recrop, and should be pretty cool. So if you get a chance, be sure to swing by, visit thegaminggang.com, and of course, give it a peek, because when you're not watching videos on the channel, you should swing over to thegaminggang.com for the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And if you're not subscribing, please subscribe. Ring that little bell, because it will notify you not only when the stream goes live, but it'll also tell you when my standalone videos go up, because I've got loads that I've been working on, and I have to do the finishing touches on them. So Dan from No Enemies Here has arrived. Good to see you, Dan. So yeah, I'm with Brian Sweet. What kind of jerk attacks a charity? You gotta be scum. You have gotta be the lowest of the low, and be sitting there and be like, oh, yeah. So, anywho. All right, so let's jump on into the news. I've got quite a bit of news today. Good variety of items as well. Then I'll talk about what has arrived in the mail recently. And then I will also mention I'm going to put off the contest for RuneQuest for one more week. I'm going to give this away a week from today, because next Monday is a holiday in the U.S. I will not have a show because I don't do holidays, right? All right, Jorge Rodriguez has arrived. Good to see you, Jorge. Welcome back. All right, jumping on into the news. There's a fast-playing card game that's on the horizon from XYZ Game Labs, and I've got the dope on Inoka. I think it's pronounced Inoka. Oh, and Kabuki Kid has arrived. Good to see you, Kabuki Kid. And Kevin Thorpe. We got a really good chat cooking already. So anyway, let's talk about the news. In Anoka, you are your village's representative to the once-a-generation Akai tournament to determine the next nature's emissary. Each player starts with a set of 9 tactic cards, 3 of each tactic: attack, block, and taunt. At the beginning of each round, you set your hand by selecting 5 of your 9 tactics, setting aside the remaining cards until the next round. In the 2-player game, players engage in a series of clashes, using each card only once. Tactic cards are discarded after use. They secretly select their tactics, then simultaneously reveal them and resolve the clash. Attack beats taunt, taunt beats block, block beats attack. The winner of a clash takes possession of the leaf totem, and whoever possesses the leaf totem at the end of the round scores a point. First player to 3 points is the winner. In a 3 or 4 player game, the first clash is a free-for-all clash for the leaf totem. After that, play proceeds around the table in a King of the Hill style. I was going to make a comment regarding the cartoon, but I guess I better not. This is kind of a family game. I'm not going to go there. Each challenger clashes against the current totem holder. If you can defeat all challengers consecutively without losing the totem, you score a point. As in the 2-player game, the first 2-3 points will win. Anoka is for 2 to 4 players, ages 6 and up, plays in 5 to 20 minutes, and it will carry an MSRP of $16.95 when it arrives. Question is, when is it gonna arrive? Because I don't really have any release date. I do not believe it's out now because I did not see any online retailers carrying it yet. So I believe it's probably first quarter of next year. So actually I've got quite a bit of first quarter news about it. So effectively this looks like this is just kind of a Rochambeau sort of game, or a rock, paper, scissors kind of game. But I like the artwork. The artwork on the cards look kind of cool. Although it does appear that like the attack cards are all the same artwork. The block cards are all the same artwork. So, yeah, you know, it's just a $17 game. Come on. Moving right along, Iello Games has a new edition of their hit dice chucking Monster Bashin' series coming out. It's going to be a little bit darker. Yep, that's right. I've got the dope on. King of Tokyo Dark Edition. King of Tokyo Dark Edition is a collector's edition of, you guessed it, King of Tokyo, with the fight taking place in an alternate and darker world in which the struggle for control of Tokyo has never been so fierce and wicked. This edition includes deluxe components such as an embossed box and lightning bolt-shaped energy, and all-new art by Paul Maffian. The game is based on the classic KOT rules, with the addition of a new mechanism exclusive to this edition to offer a fresh gaming experience. Don't wait for this to disappear. King of Tokyo Dark Edition will be a limited edition product with only 1 print run. This showcase piece for your board game collection features an embossed cover and upgraded components with a carefully selected new varnish. I don't know if they're really talking about varnish there or just kind of a new shine is what they mean. Because, of course, got to remember, Iello is not an American or English language company, so. The setting is more wicked than ever, and Tokyo is the prize. King of Tokyo Dark Edition will be for 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, plays in the traditional 30 minutes or so, and will carry an MSRP of $49.99 when it arrives in Q1 of 2020. I'm a fan of King of Tokyo. Well, I have not played King of Tokyo. I have played King of New York. I've not played King of Tokyo, but it's the same game. There's no real difference in the editions now. So I get a kick out of it. If the fights don't start dragging out, then I really do enjoy it. All right, whoa, Dan's got to rock out of here early. Good to see you, Dan. And all the best with No Enemies here on Saturdays. I will catch you later. All right, anyway, as I was saying, I like King of New York, the King of Tokyo kind of dice chucking, kind of Yahtzee-ish monster game. But it can drag. It can't get to the point where it starts to drag a little bit and you're like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's wrap this up. This isn't a Battle of the Bulge game we're playing here. It's just chucking dice, fighting monsters. So anyway, I'm kind of interested on what they mean by it being darker. I mean, I can't imagine this being like super grim. That just doesn't fit Iello's MO. So, don't know. There are very few images out there of the actual components. Couldn't share them because they're on Board Game Geek, but they do belong to somebody. So, can't just Shanghai those photos and share them. Moving right along, got another game that's coming out in Q1 of 2020. It is a roll and write game from Deepwater Games, and I've got the dope on Floor Plan. In Floor Plan, players take on the role of an architect designing a house for a client. Each round, a pair of dice are rolled, and then players will act simultaneously, using the dice to either draw a new room onto their floor plan or add crucial architectural and landscaping features. The game ends when any player has completed 2 tasks for the client. The player with the most points is the winner. The client likes their design best, and they earn that lucrative commission. The game is for 1 to 100 players. No joke. Deepwater Games is saying that it is for up to 100 players. There is no appropriate age given. I'm taking a guess about 10, maybe 12. I mean, my 10-year-olds are going to want to be like building a house, doing an architectural plan, right? Game should play in about 20 to 30 minutes. It will carry an MSRP of $19.95 when it arrives early next year. Roland writes, I don't know, okay, so this looks like this could be fun. Looks like this could be interesting. Although, for one strange reason, and I'll wait till this image comes back around, it shows one of the clients wants a pool and a tree surrounded by rooms. So, yes, I understand. I get it. I understand, what that is. And it looks like it's worth like 7 victory points or something if you pull it off. But I would take a guess that because it's a roll and write game, you're going to have some really bizarre looking house floor plans in this. But it could be fun. Could be entertaining. 20 minutes, half hour. Get your gaming night ramped up or wind it down with it. So let's move on into some role-playing game news. Because earlier today, Free League Publishing, or Krialagan, as folks like to refer to them, launched a Kickstarter for a Scandinavian horror role-playing game. And I've got the dope on Vaesen. I believe that's what I'm taking a guess. Before I jump into that, so Brian says the fact that it's 1 to 100 players, I would guess it's essentially multiplayer solitaire style. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, there's not going to be interaction between players. There usually isn't a ton of interaction with roll and writes between players in the first place, rather than me talking about a different game while I'm sharing images from Free League Publishing. I'll just switch back to me. But yeah, it could be good. It could be interesting. I am not familiar with anything from Deepwater Games. I have reported some news items from them, but I'll be the first to admit I have never played any of their titles. But they do have some stuff that looks fairly interesting, so I tend to share interesting items as opposed to, here's the latest thing from Steve Jackson Games or Fantasy Flight Games that everybody's talking about. All right, let's get back to the Free League Publishing Kickstarter for Vaesen. It's Vaesen, so I'm just taking a stab. I'm not, I'm not Scandinavian, so I can't tell you how it's pronounced. But anyway, let's get on with it. In dark forests beyond the mountains, by black lakes and hidden groves, at your doorstep, in the shadows, something stirs. Strange beings, twisted creatures lurking at the edge of your vision, watching, waiting, unseen by most, but not by you. You see them for what they really are. Vaesen. Dun dun dun! Vaesen Nordic Horror Role-Playing is a brand new RPG line from Free League Publishing. Written by award-winning author Nils Heinz, Tales from the Loop, and based on the work of Swedish illustrator and author Johan Urgerkrans. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrect. Vaesen presents a dark Gothic setting steeped in Nordic folklore and old myths of Scandinavia. The game mechanics use an adapted version of the award-winning Year Zero engine. You and your companions in the society were born different. You have the sight, the ability to see what ordinary people cannot. You know that Vaesen have lived beside humanity for untold centuries, in an uneasy peace. Not anymore. Rumors spread of kittens born with two heads, streams red from blood, groves lulling children into eternal sleep, fairies dancing through villages, luring the young into the woods to be forever enthralled. Embarking on journeys to remote villages in the wilderness, you will uncover the secrets of the mythic North. Armed with nothing but your courage, conviction, and ability to see the supernatural, I see dead people, you will face the creatures of the forest. Neither bullets nor blades can stop them. To drive them off, you must understand them, find their weakness. Yet, even if you prevail, facing the Vaesen will leave you with scars that never heal. The setting of Vaesen is called the Mythic North, loosely based on Scandinavia in the middle of the 19th century. A desolate area on the northernmost fringes of Europe, it's covered with vast forests, broken by craggy hills and lonely mountains. It is a wild place, where a few developed cities in the south are the few beacons of civilization. In the countryside, the old ways rule. Peasants work the land as they always have done. Workers toil in the dark woods and on the mighty rivers, often paying the ultimate price while doing so. A few rail lines connect the important cities. Otherwise, you need to travel by horse, coach, or foot. Free League Publishing is raising funds to produce a lavishly illustrated and beautifully produced book with more than 200 pages of content. This core rulebook will contain all you need to roleplay in the Mythic North, rules, setting, and an introductory scenario. The book will be printed on premium paper and will be in the US letter format. So there is a rather short, about a minute long video from Free League Publishing for the Kickstarter. So let's kick back and give it a watch. Vaesen reached its funding goal in 13 minutes today. What took it so long? And you can reserve a copy of the 200-plus page game, plus any unlocked stretch goals, in PDF for a $26 pledge. There are a few other pledge levels, but they're kind of in between that one and the next one that I'm going to talk about. But you can score the physical copy of the game as well as maps dice, GM screen, and more, plus, of course, the unlocked stretch goals, for a $68 pledge, and that is through November 27th. Expected delivery is May of next year. Looks good. Looks interesting. I like the year one engine. I think it's fine. I like what they did with Forbidden Lands. I think that was really, really nicely done. Yes, okay. I mean, the mechanics weren't just fantastic. They were a little wonky on some things, but still. So, Kevin Thorpe mentioned loves the art. Yes, I like the art too. This is yet another game system that Free League is basing off of an artist's work. That's kind of cool, kind of interesting, because they already do that with, what is it? It's Simon Stolenhog, I think. Stolenhog is how it's pronounced, with Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood. And of course, there's a new adventure book out for Tales from the Loop. It came out, was it last week? It was last week. I talked about it. So Brian says, I own a couple of Free League books, never had a chance to play any of them, but they are all a fun read. They are. From my experience, and for some strange reason, well, when Boelle left the company, she was their PR person who suddenly got on board with us really heavy. I mean, basically anything we wanted was like, yep, here you go. Did some reviews for, in fact, Forbidden Lands was one that they really liked the review of. She left and everything's kind of dried up, so I don't know if we're going to see any of this stuff. I don't know if we're going to see Alien. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that. I can't tell you. I don't know. I do not know. So, but yes, they are really interesting. They do really, really good role-playing game books. And the thing is, they're pretty easy. You can port that stuff over to just about any system that you want if you don't happen to dig the six-sided dice of the year one engine. So, but I mean, it is pretty easy. All right, so my next news piece is another Kickstarter. It's another role-playing game. It's another horror role-playing game. And it also launched on Kickstarter today. This one is from newcomers Nerdy Pup Games. And it is The Curse of the House of Rookwood. Here's the dope. The Curse of the House of Rookwood is a gothic horror tabletop role-playing game where you create a cursed family with supernatural powers and troubled relationships and take them on strange adventures in an alternate history haunted by mythical monsters and dark magic. Will you work together to bury your skeletons, or will family drama bring your house to ruin? Blood will out. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but it says blood will out. In The Curse of the House of Rookwood, you play members of the cursed Rookwood family. Long ago, your ancestor formed a pact with dark forces, granting power to the Rookwood bloodline. Yes, power! Oh, whoops. At the cost of their humanity. The more you use the gifts of your curse, the more inhuman you become. Your family is haunted by skeletons, unresolved matters that strain your relationships and threaten to tear the family apart. Ultimately, you will either put your skeletons to rest, ensuring the future prosperity of the family, or bury your skeletons in a shallow grave, hastening the family's demise. During play, a chronicler serves as a facilitator, historian, and game master, portraying the dark world in which the family must survive. Together, the players and the chronicler collaborate to tell the story of your family, either as a standalone game focused on a single generation, or as a legacy-style campaign that spans multiple generations of the family. Rookwood uses an original rules system that is easy to learn for players that are new to the hobby, but equally satisfying for experienced role players. The rules are simple and elegant and empower everyone at the table to live out the story of their character on their own terms. So Mike over at Nerdy Pup Games, I just kind of chuckle. I think that's kind of a funny name. I'm not making fun of the name. I just Hey man, it's the Nerdy Pup. Has done a video. It's a little more than 2 minutes long. He will talk a bit more about this Kickstarter, so let's give it a watch.
Hi, I'm Michael Addison, co-designer of The Curse of the House of Rookwood, a new gothic horror tabletop RPG about a cursed family with dark magic in their veins and skeletons in their closet. Long ago, the family made a dark pact that granted powers of a supernatural nature to the family. Things such as the ability to command ravens and crows, to shape stone and statuary, to call forth living shadow to shroud around you. But power comes with a cost. The more you use your powers, the more inhuman you become, and ultimately you may be lost to your curse. The main focus of play is skeletons, which are troubles that haunt your relationships between you and your other family members. Will you put your skeletons to rest peacefully, ensuring future prosperity for your family? Or will you bury them in a shallow grave, leaving them for future generations to resolve? The rules are simple and easy to learn. They're suitable for both beginning players and for experienced role players alike. You can play as a one-shot campaign or as a longer multi-session game. The game fits very well between longer campaigns if you're playing other things, or if you're looking for a longer experience, there's plenty to sink your teeth into. Our goal is to produce a beautiful hardcover book that contains everything you need to play, including skeletons, curses, campaign ideas, monsters and creatures from folklore, and many historical eras that you can explore. So join us on Kickstarter from November 5th through December 9th. Any early bird pledges within the first 48 hours will receive a 20% discount. Thank you for your interest, and remember, blood will out.
The Curse of the House of Rookwood, as I mentioned, just launched on Kickstarter earlier today. You can reserve a copy of the game in PDF, plus, of course, any unlocked stretch goals, for a $15 pledge, or get the physical book as well as the PDF for a $25 pledge. That's a pretty nice deal. Through December 9th. Do want to mention, I think it's only for the first 48 hours. You can get the physical book, the PDF, as well as the stretch goals for a $20 pledge. It is an early bird that is currently going on right now. So, just want to point that out. But after that, it's going to be the $25, which is still a pretty good deal. Expected delivery is May of next year, just like the free League Publishing role-playing game. So, back both of those and get yourself a heaping hunk of horror next May. So my final news piece is about another role-playing game. Now, this one is available right now. This did successfully kickstart a while back. It is a cyberpunk RPG. It's on Drive-Thru RPG. It's from Dragon Turtle Games. And here's the dope on Carbon 2185. Play as a cyberpunk, a rebel refusing to live life by the rules of the oppressive megacorporations that rule San Francisco in this high-action tabletop role-playing game by Dragon Turtle Games. Carbon 2185 gives you the chance to play in these cyberpunk worlds you've seen in movies, television shows, and video games. The core rulebook is the only thing you need to run and play hundreds of hours of games in the world of Carbon 2185. And to enjoy our upcoming line of adventure modules, heists, and tales of corporate espionage using this innovative game system. Carbon 2185 is a brand new tabletop role-playing game built using the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons open game license, with all the magical items, and fantasy elements removed and replaced with cybernetic augmentations, upgradable and customizable weapons, and computer hacking skills. The core rulebook contains everything a player needs to play the game, including character origins. Your origins define who you are and what you're good at. Were you raised in a corporation orphanage? No mom and dad? Or are you just a regular Joe? I'll take a cup of Joe with that as well. Going about their normal life. Carbon 2185 has a choice of 7 different origins with over 10 sub-origins. Background generation. Carbon 2185 has a fluid dice-based background generation to determine your age, life experiences, skill proficiencies, and wealth upon starting the game. And strangely enough, why are we not seeing more images from this? Let me grab this real quick, because there is some cool artwork. Yeah, this is weird. This should have all been displaying here. It will now. It includes equipment, vehicles, and accommodations. We have pages and pages of content, so you can create whatever character you want. This gutter punk looks suspiciously like Tank Girl. John Vogel's got to get going. Catch you later, John. Thanks for stopping in once again. So there are also classes. 6 brand new classes to choose from. From the tough heavy weapons expert, the Daimyo, who shoots her way to her next meal, to the tech heavy and savvy hacker, who uses software exploits to overcome their foes and environment. We have every cyberpunk class you can imagine. I don't know, I can imagine quite a lot. There are subclasses, because each class has at least 3 subclasses for further customization, such as the Hacker's Robomancer subclass that comes with a robotic dog or drone companion. The core rulebook also contains invaluable information for the game master, such as an entire starting adventure designed to teach you everything you need to know to run the game and teach the players how to play it. The adventure should last between 3 and 5 sessions. There are dozens of NPC stat blocks and templates to create an infinite amount of enemies and adversaries. Infinite, I should say. There are loot tables. Ever wondered how many Wong Longs that street rat your players just blew a hole in had in his pocket? Just roll on the table and find out. There's world building. We have dozens of pages of world building to tell you everything there is to know about 2185. From the gangs and gangsters to the corporations and their CEOs. There's even a detailed economy. Tired of abstract economies in tabletop role-playing games? Well, look no further. Carbon 2185 has a highly detailed economy with reference tables and charts to help you instantly know how much a bowl of street ramen costs, a glass of upscale whiskey, or how much a hacker might charge to access an unsecure security feed. Right now, you can score the 284-page PDF at DriveThruRPG for $25.83. I do not know who came up with that number, but it is $25.83. And it's not a special price either. It's not a sale price. Jorge Rodriguez, I believe, might be taken off. So good night to Jorge. So this does look pretty interesting. I've got a soft spot for cyberpunk games. And the new Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart kit is very cool. You can check out, I've got a video of the unboxing. Sammy did the review for it. So, interestingly enough, the Cyberpunk Red starter box is excellent. The Shadowrun New Edition starter box is a mess. So if you were ever wondering why I didn't do a review for the Shadowrun beginner box, you know why. I did the unboxing, read through it, and I was like, this is just a mess. Complete mess. Which I did not realize. That's kind of Catalyst Game Labs' MO now. That they just don't playtest stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. They were nice enough to give me a copy of the starter set. Hey, maybe they were able to iron some of the stuff out for the actual book, because I know the book came out but I think there's plenty of problems with that as well. So I don't know. All right, so that is it for the news tonight. As I mentioned, I am extending the RuneQuest contest until a week from today, so it'll be Tuesday, November 12th. Super easy to get in on it. All you got to do is just comment on a video from, I think it was October 23rd, whatever. Basically, it's pretty easy. Just comment on a video between now and November 11th. And you have to be a follower of the Gaming Gang on Twitter as well. So you got to be a subscriber here and a follower on Twitter and comment on a video on the Gaming Gang channel before November 11th. That's it. Pretty easy. Not that difficult to get into the running. So, something else I want to mention. I received a couple of books from XYZ Games because next month they are launching their new, kind of like their lineup of role-playing games. So they sent me both of them. So they sent me Paleo Mythic, and I won't get too close because it'll go out of focus. So, got Paleo Mythic here, and I also have Romance of the Perilous Land, which is, and of course, Osprey Publishing. Come on, these books are top notch. So I am going to do unboxing, or I should say unboxing, first look page through videos. That's what those are actually kind of called on these. I've got a bunch of videos that I have not been able to crank out because for some reason my After Effects has crapped out on me, which is how I basically do some of the opening intro videos and stuff like that. And so I've actually recorded some reviews. I've recorded some unboxings. I've actually recorded like the intros to them and the outros to them, but I can't get my After Effects to work. So that is the next thing I am going to be focused on. It's just basically, I'm sure what it is. It's the project. Something's broken in the project. So I might have to start it off from scratch. Don't know. And I am not super up on After Effects, right? It's like, I can't be a master of all these things. So that is it for tonight's show. Anyway, as I like to always point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. And of course, it's a brand new design now, so definitely give it a peek. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell because it will notify you not only of when the stream goes live, but about a minute or so. And also tell you when I upload standalone videos, like when we take a look at these two new games from Osprey Publishing, or XYZ Games, I guess I should say, is officially it. So, and Kevin Thorpe's saying, well, lads, nice chatting. Yes, because Kevin pops in from the UK. I know that. I believe Flaming Huron is in Australia. We usually see Flaming Huron pop into chat too. So anyway, I was going to say, everybody who joined me in chat tonight and watched live, thank you very much for keeping me company once again. Otherwise, I'd just be kind of talking into a camera, going out into the ether. That'd be kind of weird, right? But if you also watch after the fact, I love you just as well. In reality, I appreciate anybody who gives any of the videos on the channel a watch. So I will be back tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So everybody enjoy your Tuesday night. And of course, until I see you tomorrow, happy trails. Zoobadoo-badoo-badoo-boo-boo. Zoobadoo-badoo-badoo-boo. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bum. Zibba. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So, if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.